You want to start a home care business, but when you look at the cost, you're thinking, do I need to be rich to do this? Guys, I get it. This business is not cheap to start. Licensing, insurance, branding, marketing, it all adds up fast. Of course, it's less if you're in a non-regulated state. But here's the thing. Just because you don't have a ton of money right now doesn't mean you can't start. Plenty of successful home care businesses were built by people who did not start off with deep pockets, including myself. They just got creative, stayed resourceful, and figured out ways to get their funding together piece by piece. The key to success is that I got started. And guess what? That's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do today. I hope by the end of this video, you'll have an actual game plan. So get your pen and paper and let's get started. Before we start talking about how to fund your business, your home care business, I want you to know that the cost on starting this business depends on your budget and also the state that you're in. So a lot of y'all talking to other people in other states and the information ain't information. The math ain't mathing. Also, I want to clarify the things you absolutely cannot avoid paying for. A lot of people think they can skip certain costs, but the truth is there are some things you just have to invest in if you want your business to be legal and successful. So to give you a summary list, you need to pay for 1, business registration and licensing. You can't legally operate without those. You need to make sure to check the state that you're in about the rules, the regulations of starting a non-medical home care business. 2, insurance. Liability insurance is a must, especially when you have caregivers working with vulnerable vulnerable clients. And you need much more than just liability, but we're just flowing right now. Number 3, marketing and branding. Nobody can hire you if they don't know you exist. You need a website, you need business cards, and some form of advertising. 4, payroll. Even if you start solo, once you hire caregivers, you'll need money for their paychecks. And trust me, good caregivers won't work for free. Now, side note, if you're one of my clients, I teach you how to have that money for payroll without having to have a large sum saved away. So now, this isn't one of those start a business for $100 type deals. But what we can do is get creative with how you can fund these things. Now let's get to the point. If you're thinking about how to fund your business, the first option is going to be self-funding. Now, I know what you're thinking. If I had extra money, I wouldn't be watching these videos. That may be true. It may not be true. But hear me out. Sometimes we overlook money that we already have access to. If you want to start a home care business but don't have enough upfront cash, you need to start thinking like an entrepreneur. And that means being resourceful. So I'm going to say the number 1 thing would be cutting unnecessary spending. I know this isn't the most exciting advice, but it works. A lot of times we actually have the money. We're just spending it on other things that aren't priorities. So take a look at your current expenses and ask yourself, how much do I spend on eating out every month? Do I have subscriptions I don't even use, like streaming, gym memberships, apps, etc.? Can I pause any unnecessary expenses for the next 6 months? I know when I did it, I was blown away. Blown away. Here's a simple example. Let's say you eat out 3 times a week, spending $15 per meal. That's like $180 a month. If you cut that down to once a week, you're saving at least $120 a month. In 6 months, that's $720. Which could go towards your business license and or marketing costs. If you find just 3 areas in your budget where you could save $100, $200 a month, that's $8,000 saved a year. That's a solid chunk of your startup cost right there. As a business owner, you need to be able to look where your money is going. So if you're really serious in starting your business, do it now. Look at where your money is going right now. So when the money starts coming in, you already know how to allocate and be responsible with those dollars. Another thing you could do is finding money in your home. You're like, what? Finding money in your home? Yes. Now, I'm not saying do a treasure hunt. What I mean is, do you have some old things that are not in use that you can sell? I'm trying to be, resourceful and help you guys out. Because let's be real, most of us have things lying around that we don't need, we don't use, and honestly forgot we own them. Instead of letting things collect dust, why not turn them into startup money for your home care business? I mean, while it might not cover everything you need for your home care business, it can give you a solid starting fund. I mean, just try it. Just be open to what I'm saying. And of course, we know there's tons of other funding opportunities. This is for those of you that are limited in your resources and may not have great credit. So take a look around your home today because you might be sitting on thousands of dollars without even knowing it. And remember, this isn't about selling your most valuable personal items. It's about turning unused things into something way more valuable, your future business. This is my last tip. Start by offering private caregiver services before launching your agency. I mean, some people, I've literally had people start as a private caregiver and then transition into a homemaker companion business where they start bringing on family members or friends and then transition into a full-blown home care agency. So there's a lot that you can do by starting small. The key to success is getting started. Maybe start working with one or two clients. Build a strong reputation and save up your money for 6 months of working. Starting as a private caregiver doesn't mean you're staying small forever. It just means you're using a smart, low-cost entry point into the industry. All right, so let's talk about an option that most people feel weird about: asking family and friends for help. Look, I get it. Nobody likes asking for money. But if you have people in your life who believe in you, why not give them a chance to support you? How many of you support people all the time? It's okay to ask for help. Now, how do you do it without making it awkward? Treat it like an investment, not a handout. Don't just say,
Hey, can you loan me some money? Can you loan me $1,000?
instead say something like, I'm starting a home care business and I'm looking for small investors. Would you be interested in supporting my startup? That's professional. You could even offer something in return. Maybe you could give them a percentage of profit for the first year or offer free home care consultations, to their loved ones. It's about being creative. As entrepreneurs, we are creators. We are go-getters. Example, your family or your friend chipped in $1,000, but instead of paying back in cash, you can offer them a free home safety assessment for an elderly relative or maybe a discount once you're up and running. It's just all about thinking outside of the 9 dots. So write out even a simple business plan to show them where their money is going. People are more likely to invest if they see a clear strategy and you're really putting effort into this, especially if you've tried things before and they may have helped you before. You really need to show them that you're serious about this. Now let's talk about grants and loans. Depending on you live, your state might offer grants, tax incentives, or even cost loans. It's definitely worth checking out your local chamber of commerce or state business portal for these programs. But I do want to let you know that grants take time to apply for, so don't rely on them too much. But if you do get approved, it would be a huge help. Huge help. Now, direct government grants for profit businesses like home care aren't super common. They are geared towards nonprofits or research projects. However, don't let that discourage you. There are still awesome resources out there like the SBA programs, etc. You just really need to research. I would say type in things like women-owned business, minority-owned business, small business startup, women business, men business, whatever it is. The U.S. Small Business Administration is a gold mine. They offer microloans with competitive rates, and their local SBA office or small business development center, that SBDCS, are great for mentorship and sometimes even offer local funding competitions. I know a lot of people are scared of taking out loans. I get it. The idea of borrowing money, especially if you're just starting out, can feel risky and intimidating. No one wants to be in debt. And maybe you've heard horror stories about businesses failing because of loans they couldn't pay back. But there is a such thing that I say, good debt. What is good debt? Okay. But here's the truth. Taking out a loan for your business is not the same as bad personal debt if you do it the right way. So don't let the fear of borrowing keep you stuck. Instead, be smart about it. Have a plan and use that money to create something bigger than yourself. Listen, starting a home care business with little to no money is tough, but possible. I did it. I literally borrowed $700 from my dad to go as a down payment for my insurance. And I went out every single day talking to everyone that I could find. So it can be done from a grassroots perspective. Don't let a lack of funds stop you. Use every free tool out there, online courses, local mentorship, my YouTube channel, even business networking groups. There is a way, if you're truly dedicated and committed to doing this, it can be done. I mean, so many people told me they started businesses right here by watching my YouTube videos, which are all free. Hello. But listen, honestly speaking, if you really want to start a business, you will need money, no doubt. So if you're really serious, you need to step up, be resourceful, and network, 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 and network, network, network. I hope this video helps. If you have any comments or questions, comment down below. You know I read them. If you need a mentor, I'm here. Just go to homecarecoaching.com so I can help you. You got to be willing to do the work, okay? And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications because I am dropping videos consistently. Take care, guys. God bless.